Once you start climbing the emotional ladder and become a more positive person and radiate positive emotions, you are going to trigger the people around you, and some of them are going to try and tear you down. On this channel, I have a lot of videos up already on how to let go of wounded feminine energy, and while this phrase covers a range of different concepts, arguably the most important one is letting go of the victim mentality, and that may be exactly what you have already done in order to get here. Because the victim mentality allows us to blame others and circumstances for the negative beliefs and emotions going on inside of us. It gives us this illusion that we have little to no self-advocacy, and that how we feel on the inside is dependent on what's going on around us and how other people behave and treat us. In turn, leaving us paralyzed and lacking in confidence and inspiration to do much to take actions for ourselves in our own lives. When you experience a lot of negative emotions, the victim mentality gives you the perfect excuse to tell yourself and others for why climbing the ladder is not within your own control. And the victim mentality is tricky because we have all been victimized in our lives. We are all the victims of certain circumstances, and in that sense, holding on to the victim mentality seems perfectly justifiable. And as a result, people often have what seems like a really good reason to be there. And that's why sometimes if you dare to poke a little bit at people's victim complex, they will and can defend it with logic. But the thing is, and I've mentioned this on the channel multiple times before, you cannot defend your limitations and transcend them at the same time. If you defend your limitations, you will keep them, and you will suffer that much more and longer just for having them. And holding on to your victim mentality keeps you stuck in these lower levels of emotions, indeed making you a victim, except you are the one who keep you in chains. So now that we're on track, once you've shed victimhood and started taking responsibility for your own happiness, then you do become your own source of positivity, and you start radiating this light from within. You start dwelling in and operating from higher places on the emotional ladder, and that will radiate and collide with the people around you for better and worse. Misery loves company, and if you have made positive changes to your life, it means that you are going from here to here. And when you're spending more time up here, it means that your dwelling place is starting to change. And once you let go of identification to the things down here, you will become lighter and you will rise. And one really big way we bond with others is through shared experiences and emotions. And that means once you start dwelling somewhere else on the emotional scale, your connection to certain other people may be lost. The connection just starts to soften, and you may feel less close because you literally are further apart. But as someone who have a more positive outlook on life and want to celebrate and be celebrated, you want that person with you because you care about them and you have a bond with them. But the thing is, if they have not yet figured out their own inner maze, they may not be ready to let go of their own victimhood or their own justifications, and they cannot come with you, or worse, may lash out on you overtly or subtly. When you crack the code to happiness, not everyone else is able to feel happy for you, and it's always the people who are dwelling down here who aren't able to. And yet another aspect of this is that everything is projection. Whatever you are feeling, you are bound to project that outwards into the world in some way, shape, or form. Positive people project positivity, negative people project negativity. Happy people can experience happiness also for you. Negatively dwelling people cannot, also not for you. That's coupled with the fact that I also talk about in other videos, which is that you cannot receive from others what you cannot yet give to yourself, means that your projection of happiness and confidence onto someone who cannot yet give that to themselves means that they will find a way to reject it, often blaming or attacking you in the process. They will find a way to have the experience outside of themselves that they are having on the inside. As a great example, someone who is prone to jealousy will find someone to experience their jealousy through, and And if you are leveling up in life, you become a worthy symbol of jealousy, thus feeling the projection of these lower states from others. And this happens completely subconsciously, as their subconscious mind presents them with what seems justifiable and good reason to hate on you, and by that tear you down. And as a result, you may, hopefully only momentarily, but join them on a lower level. I think this is so crucial to realize. People choose their own experience subconsciously based on where they are dwelling on the emotional ladder. Someone with a victim mentality will find a justifiable way to be and feel like a victim. And that very same person, after shedding their victim mentality, will find a way to see and experience that they are not. You are used by others as a way to reject/reaffirm the state going on within them, and you do this to everyone else too. Like mentioned in my recent video, Follow They Flee, other people are vessels through which you experience emotional states. You may feel like they are actively trying to tear you down. In reality, they are just defending their perceptions and their own self-image to themselves, and fitting you into a box accordingly. And here's the thing, once you start leveling up, some people will be able to be very happy for you, and even more people will just feel neutral, and some people will not be able to be happy for you. They are all experiencing you through an emotional state, and that's what you feel. And at this stage in your journey where this video is of relevance to you, it's so crucial to realize the importance of directing your focus and attention onto those who cheer you on and root for you, instead of on those who seem to not be able to. Because whether it's dwelling on direct criticism or subtle undermining from others, getting caught up in thinking it over in your mind is just another way to fall into the pit of victimhood, but just in a more tricky and hidden new way. And again, it would be perfectly justifiable, and is perfectly justifiable, to let this upset you or to let it get you down. But like every other concept defended by a victim mentality, the only way to transcend it is to let go. I feel like it's the last step of victimhood that you have to let go of, and it is a difficult and ongoing process. So what do? You protect your positive core, which I talk a little bit about here, and you protect your space. Surround yourself with people who have no interest in tearing you down. Remove negative people from your life, or at the very least try to limit their access to you. We all have finite time and energy, so use that space wisely by embracing people who are happy in their own lives, so that they can experience happiness for you as well, also for the things that they don't even have themselves. Like-minded, positive individuals use your positive dwelling place to reaffirm what is possible for them, instead of letting it be a source of jealousy or similar. Your success rubs off on them and vice versa. And when you cross paths with someone with a negative focus, and especially when it's directed specifically at you, bring your attention to your knowledge of what is really going on. Projection. Let what's true for them be true for them, also if it's not true for you. And forget everything about trying to change their mind. They've already made it up accordingly to whatever is going on within themselves, and that is just not within your control. And trying to make it so is a complete waste of time. That focus needs to go on to those who are already happy for you. Another thing is that it's also a really good rule of thumb to never take advice or criticism from those whom you wouldn't want to switch places with, and someone with a negative focus or someone who tried to tear other people down is a pretty good place to start. And when you make this major shift and start adopting a more positive mindset, you may feel a little lonely at first before you've sourced your new tribe, and that is perfectly natural and normal. I think that's something that most go through. And as always, all of the links you need are in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, and you can watch this video next.